See that photo of Robbie? Best motherfucker ever. It's his birthday a couple days ago. Robbie Krieger. Looks like he's got himself. It looks like it from the photo. It looks like it could be. Ooh, maybe that's it. It looks like it could be a Marauder from the top, but I don't think it is. Gibson Marauder. That's another collector's item. Looks to be a Firebird 405. Mm-hmm. Butter. That guitar is way more playable than the one I got, the 7. I know that now, looking back. But hell yeah, it's good to see people with Firebirds. Those are great, great. It's like having a gold Rolex, man, or a fake Rolex, even if you have a fake one. You know, you don't see those. It's a unique timepiece. It's from a certain fucking era. We don't talk enough about the Gibson basses, though. Thing about the Gibson guitars, I'm really all about Gibson these days. I love my Fenders, but it's certain select ones, um, select jammies like that. But the Gibson guitar, with its high output, humbucking nature, high output, razor precision, Ginsu laser precision. You can pull off bends on a Gibson that you can't do on a Stratocaster. A little bit of cutaway, a little bit of cutaway neck, and you can reach notes that ordinarily are unattainable. And the Gibson circuitry, as opposed to Alnicos that you would find in most variety of Strat. The Alnico pickup was nice because it was revolutionary. Might have came first, I'm not sure. But it's an okay pickup. You can make an Alnico in your kitchen if you have some copper wire and a couple poles. Yeah, yeah, you know. But Fender, I mean, they made some, or Gibson, they made some. They make excellent guitars with high output, craftsman made, like the SG bass or a Ripper or a Grabber or something like that. Take a look at all those pickups they put in those Gibson basses. Big, big, fat, ridiculous music, man. Double stacked fucking huge magnets they put in those. And they got that unique bridge where it's held down by one screw. Yeah, if you've ever played the most superior bass you could ever play, in my opinion, would be even the light editions, any kind of Rickenbacker bass. It's capable of any fucking tone. Yep. Well, with a Gibson, you can really do a lot. Didn't that photo look like it looked like it could have been a Marauder? I got to get me a Gibson book. I got a lot of Fender books, and they're great. I always buy them when I see them. It's guitar porn. I can't stop looking at that shit. But what I need is a Gibson book now. Nice Gibson book detailing all the electronic. Look at the SG bass they got. Look at look at all those basses they got. Gibson bass is nice too. I'm getting me if I ever get paid, I'm getting me a new Firebird 7, and I'm getting it in red. And I want it. I might have to get another bootleg because the one I'm trying to replicate isn't in production anymore. That's why I like it. I got a bootleg Firebird, and it's fucking beautiful. It's the prettiest guitar I've ever seen. Gorgeous. I figured since they were bootlegging it, they wouldn't. They might have crazy paint jobs, but they don't. I was looking for green because the Firebird also they also made a 12-string Firebird, if you can imagine that. Around here somewhere, I've got pictures of it. It's fucking gorgeous. It looks like it was painted after the fact. But I was hoping for some weird colors. But if I'm getting another Firebird, it's gotta be red. It's gotta be bright, bright, bright red. I like the Mustangs. I like the Jag Stangs. I like the Jazz Masters and Fender. Those are gorgeous, gorgeous, pretty little guitars. I never had one. I had a Mustang once, and it was great. I had a duo. I had a Duo Sonic, and that's like a little girl's guitar, kinda. or an entry level for a student or something. And you could fucking, I used to fucking fly on it, the Duosonic. Everybody loved that guitar. It was great. But a Duosonic is basically it's a different variant of the Mustang. My next guitar probably is going to be a white telly with a black pickguard, or a black telly, white pickguard. You know, gotta have a black Strat. Gotta have a black telly. I'd like a white telly though. I think a white telly would be nice. And I really think it's time for me to start building my own cabinets. You know, because I've been through life and I've seen a couple guys, and I've had a tiny bit of experience. I used to, I have to keep stopping. There's an asshole over there chanting. I used to carry around my Marshall. I also want to get another. I used to have a 1983 JCM 800. I'd like to get another one of those, but I'd like it to be 100 watts. That was the prettiest sounding amp I've ever heard. I think it wasn't your boogie sound. It what you can imagine. It wasn't that. We're just talking about pure gain stage. You got your gain and your master volume. The gain is all the way up, and you can just get that beautiful, beautiful preamp organic distortion as it should be from the Jim Marshall company. I I look back and I'm like, thank you, Alan Piet. He let me. I traded in a fucking 8 channel mixer, two guitars to get it, and I have to keep stopping. And I went in there and I was like, and then I went back 3 times, and he's going, no, 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 I'm not part. You got to do more. You got to get more. And I knew that I was gonna need way fucking more. But he actually let that Marshall go. This was in '93, so it was only 10 years old at the time. That's funny. But he let it go finally for an 8 channel Samick mixer and two Fernandez and some other guitar. And when he gave it to me, I was in shock. I was like, "Are you serious?" He's like, "Yeah, I'll do that." I think he wanted the case. He said, "Go back and get the case." He made me go back 4 fucking times, and I came back and he's like, "Here you go." I was like, "Oh, thank you, Alan. Thank you, Alan. I'll never forget you, man." And he also did that with a Laney head too. He was a mean guy, but he was supportive of young musicians. He really cut me some good deals. Want to get another '83 Marshall? To me, I'm a simple guy. That to me, that's the greatest amp besides a Fender Twin Reverb or something. The greatest amp that was ever made, especially from that era. I'm not talking, this is years before the dual rectifier and just that Jim Marshall organic is the only word for it. But also, yeah, like I said, I would like to start making cabinets because if you fuck with cabinet space and a box of wood, the sky's the limit. You can get some amazing. You become a unique guitar player. I seen it with Trey Anastasio in Connecticut. I seen it with Matt. I had experience with a couple trainer cabinets that I would hook up to the Marshall. The old Canadian company trainer. I used to hook up those cabinets to it, and they were 16 ohm, 8 and 16 ohm. So I would rewire them, and you would get this dirty 70s sound. I don't know how to explain it. But when you fuck with aluminum cones, paper cones, different type of speakers, and different types of boxes, immediately it's a new goddamn animal. And you're like, nobody sounds like that. Got to get your own little box, you know. And the Celestians help. I mean, but I used to put my Marshall through a 4x12 slant cabinet, just generic Fender design, and it would sound great. But when you get it, and then I used to mix and match with two Celestians and two paper cones, and the sound you would get was remarkable. You put an SM58 snuggled up a little bit right of the cone, and you get the most money sound. Just money. Nothing like a goddamn Marshall. Nothing. Nothing like a fucking Marshall. You know. It's for one type of music, and then Fender Twin for the other. For me, the holy grail of guitar though is a 12-string Rickenbacker electric. Yep, you know, but you're talking about $3,500 to $5,000 for something like that. But I love 12 string. I would incorporate it into my band. I love that sound. It's a magical sound, the electric 12 string. You play the 12 string and it sounds like acid. It sounds like Haight Ashbury. It sounds like Berkeley. It sounds like San Francisco in the 60s. Sounds like A Hard Day's Night. Sounds like England. Sounds like Beatles. 'Cause Harrison pulled that off. That was like a no one had ever heard that sound before. Imagine getting your first fucking Rickenbacker with a leather case, certificate of authenticity, a little British sticker on the headstock, a British plastic tag on it. Crack it open, you smell glue, and you look at the felt, and you're like, wow. Like Roger McGuinn, I'd put a compressor in that motherfucker into the guitar actually, because that's the only way to play the 12 string.